development of decentralized finance has generated considerable returns for people that invested in it, but also the biggest scams in crypto history. Today we're talking about rug pulls, perhaps the most common method to illegally siphon off money from crypto, especially in the DeFi ecosystem. Nicely put, a rug pull is actually theft. It occurs when the initiators of a project withdraw funds from contributors and run off with them. The crypto universe is not regulated in most countries, so it's vulnerable to these maneuvers. Unlike centralized exchanges, decentralized ones allow tokens to be listed without the need for prior auditing. Creating tokens on an open source protocol like Ethereum can be done fast and for free, so this is precisely why malefactors are exploiting these advantages. Before learning how to detect and avoid a rug pull, let's first go through the most well-known types. The first one is called stealing liquidity and is probably the best known. It involves listing a newly created token on a decentralized exchange. To withdraw liquidity, a liquidity pool is required. The developers of the token create pair with an established currency such as ETH. First, they start pumping up the price artificially, attracting investors who then move their valuable assets into that pool to receive their rewards in the form of the newly created token. As more and more people decide to invest their funds in the new liquidity pool, over time the value of the scam token goes up. So, once the goal is reached and the price climbs to a certain value, the developers withdraw all the liquidity and the token becomes worthless. The second type of rug pull is technical manipulation, or limiting sell orders. It happens when the approve function of ERC20 tokens is exploited, and a clause that makes it impossible for you to sell the newly created tokens is inserted in the smart contracts. When they buy the scam tokens, folks are convinced they can sell, exchange, or spend them at any time they wish. Unfortunately, they find out too late that trading possibilities are already limited by the smart contract. Once the value of the token increases sufficiently, the founders of the project sell the supply and then take off with the investors' funds. The last type of rug pull I'm telling you about today is called dumping. In this case, the developers are highlighting the future usefulness of a token or a revolutionary product that they claim is in development and will become available in the future. In reality, they are only promoting a worthless project. Because they believe in that token or in the revolutionary product to be launched soon, people invest their funds in that project, thus increasing its value. This is the first phase. At launch, a large amount of tokens that are accessible to the initial builders is sold in a very short time. This causes the price to drop massively, and investors are left with the now worthless tokens. I hope the info provided today was valuable and helpful to you, so encourage us with a like or maybe even a subscribe. Further on, let's go through the 5 biggest rug pulls in history. The 5th place is claimed by Squid Game, the most recent and famous scam. The Squid token was a play-to-earn one inspired by Squid Game, the well-known Netflix series. It has seen spectacular growth in the first 2 weeks after its launch, with the price rising exponentially from 1 cent to $3.36. Before the initiators of the project disappeared with all the liquidity, the price went up to $2,861, and that's thanks to the anti-dumping mechanism they introduced in the smart contract. Well, virtually everyone was buying the token, but no one could sell it. Over 43,000 investors were cheated like that, and the developers took off with more than $3.3 million. The 4th place is taken by Luna Yield. The project's aim was ecological farming of the DeFi ecosystem on Solana. Needless to say, it grew rapidly, reaching more than $2 billion total value locked before the founders disappeared with the funds. The official website, social media accounts all were abruptly wiped out, and they siphoned off about $10 million in cash. It was later concluded that the transactions that facilitated this rug pull were made from the project's originator's own address. In 3rd place is Anubis DAO. It started in October 2021 and promoted as a fork of Olympus DAO. At launch, even though there was no official website, just a Discord server and a Twitter account, the equivalent of 60 million USD in ETH was invested to receive the new ANKH token instead. However, after about 20 hours, the cash in the pool was sent to another address. Despite the fact that the founders tried to blame it on a phishing attempt, all evidence showed that it was totally premeditated. 2nd place is taken by Thodex. Hundreds of thousands of users of the Turkish exchange Thodex were unable to access their assets when it abruptly shut down in April 2021. The company initially announced the suspension of cryptocurrency trading for an initial period of 5 days due to cyber attacks. It also claimed that users' assets would remain safe during this time. A subsequent investigation proved that the company's CEO flew out of Turkey the day before the exchange was shut down, taking with him investor funds worth about $2 billion. And on the 1st place, we have Alpha OneCoin. It was the biggest Ponzi scheme in this sector, conveyed by the Bulgarian company OneCoin Limited. Ruja Ignatova, nicknamed Crypto Queen, backed OneCoin in 2016, claiming it was the Bitcoin killer, thus managing to attract naive people to put their money into it. Well, so far, this has been the biggest scam in crypto history. Investors have been cheated out of an estimated $4 billion. Some leaders of the project have been arrested, while others have gone undetected. Next, let me tell you about the most common red flags. The first thing you should question is a project with anonymous developers. Avoid those with founders hiding behind pseudonyms. Another red flag, well, none other than projects that appear overnight. In order to capture a large audience, rug pulls abuse current market trends, memes, or even the subculture created around a certain topic. This is usually how a lot of hype is artificially generated, and they tend to make promises that are way too good to be true. Another problem is low liquidity. The simplest technique to check the liquidity of a crypto token is to study its trading volume over the last 24 hours. Values below $10,000 daily can be considered low. Excessive marketing can be a warning signal for you because since some projects don't have a utility, they tend to use aggressive tactics like social media, influencers, and paid commercials to reach and trap as much people as they can. There is also cause for concern if the price increases exponentially overnight. The value of a token, and therefore the value of the project, is based on supply and demand. A legitimate one should be able to justify the whole growth process. If it happens out of the blue, some traders are likely to do FOMO to attract investors. To avoid falling in a trap yourself, stay connected as much as possible to the community around the project. It's vital to read their white paper. You should understand the problem they are trying to solve. Who are the members of the team? What liquidity there is? How many holdouts there are? Whether it is listed on a centralized or a decentralized exchange. There are sites like Token Sniffer or Rug Doctor that have databases where you can check projects, contracts, or the latest scams on the market. The rise of DeFi and other crypto projects have provided convenient access to decentralized financial services. Unfortunately, it also comes with a chance of losing money due to rug pulls. Therefore, educate yourself before investing in any crypto project and make sure to only put in as much as you are willing to lose.